Why can't this White House acknowledge that the media is not the enemy of the people?
Well, I could tell you why, Brooke, but I'd rather show you how you lie to the people and hire actors so you can push your own anti-liberty agendas. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my website so we can sidestep all this censorship banning nonsense.
If you are a dishonest auctioneer and you want to bring a higher price for the items you're selling, you hire somebody, plant them in the crowd, and have them bid on the things you're auctioning off. And the crowd doesn't know it. They think it's just another person who showed up like they did. It's an incredibly dishonest, unethical practice which relies on deception to artificially increase an item's price or desirability. This practice is known as shill bidding. A shill is used to deceive the people into believing that he's one of them, but he's not. He's an unprincipled deceiver with no conscience and therefore no morals.
Hey guys, before I get back to the video, I just want to let you know this is sponsored by Virtual Shield VPN. Hide your activity and location with this virtual private network, which basically makes you invisible to spies, data miners, hackers, and even your internet service provider. Virtual Shield believes you have the right to remain private. The question is, do you? You can get 20% off plus a free trial with my link in the description. Now, back to the video.
Here's just one example of it. His name is Jeremy Montanez. I'll explain why he's in a minute, but let's run through what Jeremy believes. And stay with me, because in this day and age where mainstream media is going out of its way to convince you that they are not the enemy of the people and that they're not fake news, oh, and that you can trust them, Jeremy here is just one small objective example that you can show anybody with two brain cells to rub together that mainstream media is indeed the enemy of the people, they are fake news, and you can never trust them. Oh yeah, one more thing before we get into Jeremy. I'm convinced that one of the reasons they want to censor and outright ban alternative social media channels like Alex Jones, like they terminated my main channel and so many others, is because we're a serious burr under their saddles. Because content like you're about to see here, where we expose their corruption and lies, hinders them from having free reign with their deceptive practices. Remember, they want to deceive you because they want to push their anti-individual liberty agendas as they attempt to push us closer to global governance under a centralized authority. The accumulation of power and money is what this is always about. So let's meet a This is Jeremy Montanez, and this is his YouTube channel where he says, "Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm here because I like to act. I like to be on camera. I love social issues, movies, and whatnot, and I like to talk about them. So feel free to watch, subscribe, insult, comment, whatever you want." Okay, Jeremy, we'll do that. Keep in mind that he likes to act and be on camera. We'll see that in a bit, but let's see what Jeremy believes about guns, for example. As of the recording of this video, Jeremy has 16 videos on his YouTube channel, but there are 3 that will be of interest to us. Rest in peace, Christina Grimmie, For the People of Orlando, and Combat Weapons Must Be Banned. Here's a quick compilation of his mentality toward guns and people control, also known as gun control. Now this is going to last about 3.5 minutes, but it's important for you to really know who this guy is from his own mouth, because I want to make it clear what he stands for and what, or more specifically, who he stands against. You'll see that it's crystal clear that CNN wants to use this guy to deceive you into believing he's something he's not, and that he believes things that he actually doesn't.
Last night's events as well could have been prevented. And all this has to do with the fact that these people were able to get these killing machines, also known as guns, and use them to take lives. That girl did not need to die, and she wouldn't have had the maniac that killed her got a gun. I hope in the future this country does reform. And to those of you who bitch at me about your rights, well, she had a right to live, and that was taken away because of a gun. I don't care if he was mentally ill, I don't care if he had a knife, I don't care if he had anything else. If he didn't have a gun, the girl would still be alive. All of you gun supporters and people who care more about rights of a gun than a human life can't deny those facts. It makes me disgusted at the majority of this country, but then what can I expect anything less from, you know, a majority of half the population nominating a person like Donald Trump? You know, I don't think this country, sadly, was ever going to change in that way, which is why there's plenty of other countries to be in or move to if you have the opportunity and the luxury to do that. Hopefully one day I will, because I would hate for if I was to have children, I wouldn't want them to grow up here. Let's just say that. I wouldn't feel safe with them growing up here. I am just so appalled and just disgusted by the mentality of a lot of people. I happen to have posted a comment very much lashing out on weapon supporters in general. I mean, at least that's the way it sounded. And I tried to make it clear what I was talking about was combat weapons, meaning in the military or, you know, for the police. And those are the ones that I have no business having, and the general public have no business having, and should be banned. And this is not the issue here. I'm not talking about hunting rifles, even though, I mean, if I had to vote for them to be banned, would I? Absolutely. But that's not the case. And that's a whole different subject. I'm talking about things that are specifically made to kill people. If these people, meaning the guy that killed the 50 and the son of a fuck that killed Christina Grimmie, if they did not have access to those weapons, all of those people would still be alive. Combat weapons should be just as hard, if not harder, to get than illegal drugs. If anybody that I'm speaking to now, that's supposedly one of my friends, supports anyone being able to own a weapon like that, please remove yourself. I am disgusted and appalled by it, but that's your choice. But I will not associate myself with people like that. As long as you people support that kind of shit, then you're just as bad as the people that did it, in my opinion.
Okay, so we know from his own social media presence what Jeremy Montanez believes. And we know that he stood against Trump before the election. So obviously, he did not vote for Trump, even though CNN is going to tell you that he did and that everyone else on the panel did. From his own social media post, we can easily see that he's a self-described socialist, that he supports Maxine Waters, that he wants Trump impeached, and that he's an actor who likes to be on camera. We also can see from his own Twitter account that he's locked it down so that people can't see the things that he posted. By the way, while I was producing this video, I sent him a private tweet in the hopes that he'll accept my request to follow him so we can actually see what's on his Twitter feed that he wants to hide. I let him know that he did a great job on CNN. And of course, what I mean by that is that he did a decent job acting like somebody he's not. I'll let you guys know if he gets back to me. On CNN's website describing this video, it says, CNN brought a group of Trump voters together to discuss their views on family separations and the president's perceived views on race. Trump voters, huh? We'll see about that. And now, without further ado, here's CNN's stage act featuring actor Jeremy Montanez playing the part of disgruntled Trump supporter in Trump Voter, the President is a Monster. Listen very carefully as CNN goes out of its way to deceive you once again.
All right, we are more than 18 months into the Trump presidency, so we thought it would be a good time to check in with Trump voters.
The way she emphasizes this makes CNN's lie even worse.
Trump voters.
To see how they're feeling today. I sat down with a panel of people from California, Texas, Ohio, and New York, all of whom voted for Donald Trump.
All of whom voted for Donald Trump.
Guys, it is amazing how many times she says this in this short segment as they try to convince you of this lie. What's that old saying? If you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes politics.
At one time, these folks were all on the same side.
These folks were all on the same side.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
These folks were all on the same side.
You're wrong.
Excited about this outsider running for president. But as you'll see, times have changed, and today some feel very differently. So here now, our next Pulse of the People.
Guys, even this Pulse of the People nonsense is a lie. This is the pulse of CNN. These people are feverishly trying to steer the viewer's mind into coming over to their leftist statist mentality.
How many of you are still just as excited today as you were on election day about President Trump?
Maybe more so.
And how many of you, the rest, would you say that you regret your votes? Raise your hands.
I'm disappointed.
Why are you more excited today than you were?
You know, I came in with some trepidation based on his previous record. He's the most pro-life president we've had, more than Reagan. He's done a substantial job protecting the Second Amendment, securing our border, deporting illegal aliens. He made a list of promises. He's coming through on many of them.
Jeremy, what do you regret about your vote?
There he is, guys. The star of the show. Avowed socialist and anti-Trumper, now playing the part of ex-pro-Trumper Jeremy Montanez. Let's listen to his script.
In my mind and the way I look at him now, I think he's a monster. I think he's a bigot. I think that he's doing a lot of things to ruin people's lives. I don't think that I think that he's taking this country in the wrong direction, and it's a terrifying time for me.
I could just hear the CNN groupies now. See, even people who were once on board the Trump train have jumped off in time to realize that Trump is the monster we always said he was. He's a bigot, an all-around ruiner of people's lives. Because CNN and hired self-proclaimed actor Jeremy Montanez said so.
Was there a moment that turned you?
It was when I heard about what was going on the southern border.
See, even that's a lie, because there was never a moment where he turned. He proves from his videos that he was against Trump before the election. This guy never voted for him.
What part did you object to?
The family separation and the children in cages.
I would chime in just really quick.
Yeah.
You've got parents who are breaking the law, bringing their kids here. If you don't want to be separated from your family, don't come to the country illegally. You're having individuals coming from Central or even South America, risking their lives and their children's lives.
Because their lives were at risk at
So
home.
they can go to an embassy and be safe there. Absolutely.
There's also
in the country
but
of Mexico.
you can do it. It is legal here to go to a port of entry and seek asylum. It was President Trump that started the zero tolerance. So you used to be able to stay together. You couldn't under the zero tolerance.
Keep in mind also, we have these minors that are now getting excellent care. They're getting very good housing.
Look at this guy. He's really enjoying being in the studio and on camera. He keeps looking over at that camera with the light on.
But that's not the point. That is not the point. I mean, I'm a lawyer, and I can tell you, first of all, there were 2,500 children that came here. They were not reconnected. They did come here legally.
No one's really talked about the unaccompanied minors that are being brought here by people that are looking to sex traffic these children.
Yeah, listen,
human trafficking is a
has talked about
huge thing right now.
Talked about that. The thing that got everyone's attention was that people who were not sex traffickers were bringing their kids and they got separated, and 572 of them may never see their parents again.
Thanks to the
were they really the parents?
Even after Trump's on directive.
Were they really the parents?
Hold on, we haven't heard yet from Chris. Go ahead.
This is the problem with what the president is doing. He's able to divide us on these issues where we're now fighting amongst ourselves. You know, you look at Charlottesville, you look at the separation of the families on the border, you just look at the tweeting. I've never seen an individual who is so good at connecting with sort of average people that has no ability to really communicate or control the way he communicates.
Now, this guy serves CNN's purpose of solidifying the narrative of Trump being the divider in chief. And in a lot of respects, guys, you gotta be honest, that's true. But the award for the most influential dividers and enemies of the people is mainstream media.
I think it's disingenuous to say that President Trump is wholly responsible for the bifurcation that we see across party lines right now.
But is he helping it?
I don't think that necessarily some of the things that he says could be said in a more polished manner.
My issue with this president, who I voted for.
And there's another attempt to get you to believe the lie. Did you really vote for him, lady? Why should we even believe that at this point?
Is the fact that he has something negative to say about every other leader. But you try saying one little comment that's negative about Trump himself. He jumps into a fit and he has this Twitter tirade. You know, we have a lot of, really, I mean, I have to be crass about it, idiots who voted for him, including myself at one time.
And there you go. CNN wants you to know that they think you're an idiot if you voted for Trump. And that's their message.
Take great offense. I'm not an idiot. It's a wise decision that people voted. It was a wise decision for Michiganders, for Wisconsinites, for Pennsylvanians, for working Americans who were tired of their jobs being taken away, shipped overseas, or taken by illegals.
It's a wise decision that people voted.
By the way, guys, let's be honest. Voting is a practice by which you're saying that you want your ruler to rule over you and everybody else. You want them to set the policies that we must all abide by. In essence, voting is the practice by which slaves on the plantation support a different slave master, but a slave master nonetheless. Presidents act as rulers and authorities over other people to such an extent that the people don't mind these leaders stealing from them in the form of taxation, so that those rulers can live extravagant lives off the backs of the tax cattle. So what we're really seeing here on CNN is not only outright lies and deception, but a further solidification of the left versus right paradigm that keeps us divided, distracted, and deceived, while the real puppet masters of the international banking cartel go about their merry way, increasing riches and power. Oh, and taking individual liberties away from the rest of us.
I want to apologize to the nation for my vote for him. It was the wrong thing to do. It was the biggest mistake I ever made. Like I said, he is a racist.
Why do you believe he's racist?
Why do I believe he's racist? Look what happened in Puerto Rico. He said, oh, they want to just cry and, they needed help. Just because they're not white-skinned, he doesn't want to go down there and help them out?
Jeremy, your acting career really took a hit right here. You're not even believable.
So I take great offense to the fact that you felt the need to apologize on the behalf of the entire nation, because that also seems that says to me that you are invalidating the validity of my vote.
No,
and the reasons I think the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump is because, based on my perception of him, he is not a racist, and he has done so much. He has done so much for the black community.
How do you explain the tweet about LeBron James and Don Lemon?
That's right.
I watched that interview.
But he I mean, and the president has done this before. He's called people of color. He's called them ignorant. He's called them dumb.
He's called white people that too.
He says LeBron James is more stupid than Don Lemon.
He goes after Don Lemon and LeBron James and Maxine Waters. How do you explain that?
When you call someone's intellect into question, it has nothing to do with race.
I work with a lot of Hispanic evangelicals who are very pro-life. Hispanics care about God, family, jobs, education. Top things for us. President Trump is delivering on those things.
Right.
So all this other rhetoric, rhetoric of, oh, he tweeted this or he did this, I don't really care about that.
You don't care about that.
I care about God.
You're free to care.
Family, God, family.
Understood.
Jobs
Great.
and education.
And you made a great point about that. And so, as somebody who is driven by her faith and cares about God and family, do any of the personal peccadillos give you pause? The Playboy model who was paid off, the payments to Stormy Daniels, their lives without affairs. Does any of that give you pause?
You know, we are taught as Christians to be forgiving. I'm not going to get into his personal life. That was not something that I weighed in to go vote for him.
Does it make you
anything was better than Hillary?
But
absolutely.
When you hear about the Playboy stuff, does it make you uncomfortable?
No, I'm not here to judge about what he did on his miscellaneous activities or what he was doing outside of his bedroom. That is not what I voted for him to do. I voted for him for his policies and his agenda to put this country back on track.
Go! Now she's going to say it again just so viewers know that they were all Trump voters, even though we know better.
One more time. That was not Clinton voters versus Trump voters. Those were all Trump voters.
Those were all Trump voters.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Those were all Trump voters.
Then what can I expect anything less from, a majority of half the population nominating a person like Donald Trump?
Now, either CNN got Jeremy on because he lied to him and presented himself as a former Trump voter so he could fulfill his lust for being in front of the camera, in which case CNN still doesn't get excused because they should vet people before they sit them in front of a national audience, or CNN stacked the deck to support their narrative. In either case, CNN has made themselves conspirators in the propagation of fake news again, and therefore have once again shown themselves to be the enemies of the people.
Why can't this White House acknowledge that the media is not the enemy of the people?
But listen to them drive this "these were all Trump voters" home in a more subtle way.
I have to say, I find it fascinating when you bring these people together and we talk about the phenomenon in the country right now where the president's approval rating, despite a booming economy, has a ceiling at 42 to 45%. What you see there is the ceiling. You see that even some people who voted for Donald Trump will not support him because of the policies he has at the southern border or just negativity or perhaps foreign policy there.
No, what you actually saw was CNN's rendition of what they wanted you to believe. They've lied to us so many times and deceived so many people that nothing they ever say can be trusted.
And unless he replaces some of these people with people who voted against him, that could be trouble. Now, maybe that will happen if the economy improves. It'll be interesting to see as you continue to do these, if you get people who have been won over since the election. But if he loses some people who wanted a change of flavor and now don't like the flavor they're tasting, it'll be a problem.
Did you see what he just did there? He basically said, if Trump keeps losing people like this, one of whom we've already established was a liar who never voted for Trump, and replace them with people who didn't vote for him, then he's gonna have a problem. And the context is, we're gonna find out what's really going on as you, Allison, keep doing these shows, because you're actually interviewing former Trump followers. What a joke. Hey CNN, Dan Rather and Brian Williams were fired for way less than what Allison Camerota did here. I wonder if the Young Turks will expose this blatant lie. I wouldn't hold my breath. Guys, my channel could literally be terminated because of this video. But let the record show, YouTube, that Jeremy Montanez revealed himself as the deceiver here. Guys, in order to combat censorship and all these banning practices, sign up to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. Once you sign up, you'll get a confirmation email, so just make sure to mark it as not spam. That way, we can stay in touch in case this channel is terminated as well. And for those of you who don't know, they terminated my main channel and basically told 516,000 subscribers, we don't give a damn what you subscribe to see. We've decided that we don't want you to see it. This is unacceptable. If this backup channel goes down, I'm still going to produce videos for you guys and upload them to my website. And I'm going to use the BitChute and Steemit decentralized censorship-free platforms to do it. Please take a second to subscribe to those channels and my other social media accounts. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next video, if my channel is still around. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.